Please welcome, our honor to have him to the show, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm coming
Neil.
from space. You're here.
Very fitting for you. One of my favorite guests of all time. I'm sure many people have said that already. But Neil, we have to ask you about the new NASA report on UFOs. They say there's no evidence of alien life on our planet. I'm a believer. But do you think the government could be hiding evidence?
If they're hiding evidence, it would have to be evidence that arrived only within sight of the government. I mean, just think about that. Yeah. The aliens would have to come to Earth and say, oh, let's go to the restricted Navy airspace and reveal ourselves to the U.S. military. That just feels like not. If I were alien, I'd just visit Earth, right? And then one of the 6 billion smartphones would capture that. Do you realize 1 million people in any moment are airborne with windows outside, and they could take pictures of motherships, anything. And so I'm just disappointed that let me tell you, if we were being invaded by aliens, I don't think we would need congressional hearings to establish that fact.
You know what makes me so...
Plus, one other thing. Many of the same people who don't trust government, who say the government is incompetent and they don't know how to do their job, now want to believe that the government is an amazing secret-keeping society, right? And I don't get that.
Your new book, which I'm holding up right now, talks about the latest on space exploration, and we're seeing space tourism become more and more popular. I want to know about how you feel about billionaires and their race to space, and does it have anything to do with the size of the space shuttle needing to, you know what I'm saying? Feels like that.
If you want to click off the interview now, feel free.
I got this. So the billionaire boys space race. And some people say, do they know something about Earth? Because Elon wants to go to Mars. Is he going to go to Mars and leave us all here? Is this, all right? Is this a backup plan? Or is this only going to be for rich people? Technology becomes accessible once it matures. It's not mature yet. So the early ones are a spectacle, and the news reports on it. There'll come a day where that's not the case. So if the price continues to drop, and even if it doesn't, you can hold a lottery. I'd pay $1 for a lottery ticket. 10 million people do it. One gets to go each time. Sure. So yeah, I fully embrace space tourism, and it's the next effort to leave Earth.
You talk a lot about science in Hollywood, as you just mentioned, and you once tried to get James Cameron to change a scene in Titanic.
Is that right?
How did that go down?
Oh yeah, okay. So this book, what I realized is if you attach science to pop culture, people like it.
Yeah, they're into it.
Because you don't have to learn anything from scratch. You already knew the pop culture, and you just attach it. So this book is filled with Hollywood examples. But one of the ones that sort of where my biggest contribution here was noticing in Titanic when Rose is there on the plank with her dead frozen boyfriend hanging off the end, okay? And she's looking up at the sky, and I saw this in the theater, and I saw this guy said, that's the wrong sky. And we know the longitude, the latitude, the time of day, that there was no clouds, there was no moon. There's only one sky that should have been, and it was the wrong sky. It was not only the wrong sky, the left half was a mirror reflection of the right half. It was a lazy sky, and I was livid. And I wrote to the studios, and I wrote to Jim Cameron, and I finally met Jim Cameron. And I said to him, Mr. Cameron, how come you, what? And the second time I met him to say this, he said, well, last I checked, Titanic has earned $1 billion worldwide. Imagine how much more it would have made had I gotten the sky correct. And I said, but okay. That being said, a couple of weeks later, I got a phone call. Says, this Tyson? I said, yes. How can I help you? I'm Joe Smith. I forgot his name. I'm Joe Smith. I work post-production for Jim Cameron.
Stop.
He's making a centennial edition of the IMAX, and he's recutting some scenes, and he tells me you have a sky he could use.
Wow.
So I said, yes. So the very last rendition of the film, which was IMAX 3D, they redid the sky according to the maps I gave them. So he did come through.
You got through. That Jimmy always slacking.
That
He's always
Jim.
slacking.
What a lazy
And don't
dude.
forget the most famous moment when he walked out on The Daily Show, Dr. Tyson, and you go, your globe's spinning the wrong way.
The wrong way. It's rotating
Oh,
the
you remembered
wrong.
that?
Everybody remembers that. Your globe's spinning the wrong way. That's right. Neil, thank you so much for
Yeah,
Dr.
the Daily
Tyson.
Show, the Earth is spinning backwards. What's up with
Retrograde.
that? I had to tell him.
Oh, God. You literally changed the sky. Thank you so much for joining
You
us
are
today.
my
DBL
favorite.
Nation,
Treasure.
really, it's such an honor. You can
Great.
pick up a copy of this newest book, To Infinity and Beyond, A Journey of Cosmic Discovery, wherever books are sold. This will make great gifts always. Thanks again, Dr. Tyson.
Please come back. Yes.
Honestly,
Thank
we'll be
you.
right
Thanks
back.
for your interest.
Thank you.
Thanks.